Hi there. You ever see these posts or stories or hear about people going off to find themselves? They go to meditation, they go to a retreat, they go to a workshop, all in service of finding themselves. And I remember various times throughout my life where I struggled to define who I was. I tried to find it through my college major. Then, when I finally had a profession, I tried to find it in whatever job I had or whatever corporation I was working for. I tried to find it within circles of common interest, like writers groups or people with ADD or autism or anything like that. And one of the most frustrating things that I discovered, but was also the secret, is the fact that who I thought I was kept changing. And when you look at your life, you look at all these different roles that you took on, and they were all temporary. There was a time I was a high school student, then I was an actor, then I was the student athletic trainer, then I was the funny kid. In my family, I'm the youngest son. I'm a husband to my wife. There was a time I was not married. There was a time I was not a parent. Now there is a time that I am a parent. The point being that all of these things that we try to attach to, that we try to use to define ourselves, are all temporary things. And we try to hang on to them so tightly because we've identified to them as essential to our self-concept. Some of the things that may be ongoing are things like religion, ethnicity, culture. But there are even aspects of those that you may want to question because they don't quite align with what feels right, what feels natural to you. But the one thing I want to caution you about is the idea that you need to settle on anything static to define yourself. That you need to declare yourself feminist or not feminist. That you are pro-choice or you are pro-life, whatever the categorizations are. The vast majority of them are temporary based on where you are in terms of your level of consciousness at the time, your own self-esteem, your level of education, the people you hang around with, the kind of options you see available for yourself. So much of who you believe yourself to be is determined by what you allow yourself to consider. Or do you see yourself as something static or something that's constantly moving, constantly in change, constantly flexible? I see myself according to the latter. The broad category that I use at any given moment to say who I am is I say that I'm a human being. I'm experiencing all of it, all of the emotions, all of my interests. Whatever comes up in the moment, whatever reveals itself, if you want to use that language, kind of guides me in how I need to show up based on the needs of the situation. Now, I don't want to go off and sound too woo-woo here, but the main takeaway from this is to understand that the you that is more everlasting, more impermanent, that's the you that you want to look to. The rest of the stuff, these labels, these roles that we play, none of that is you. Those are all temporary robes that you put on in order to meet the needs of whatever human experience is happening in that moment. But none of it's you. What's you is the one putting on the robes. What's you is the one deciding what's needed in that moment and how you need to act in accordance to meet the needs, to relieve the suffering. That's you. So when you're having an identity crisis, an existential crisis, whatever you want to call it, chances are you're too focused on trying to find a static label to define yourself in some permanent way. And you're going to miss the mark every time you do that because none of those things are you. So ponder that for a little while, and hopefully this has been helpful for you in some way. And until we talk next, you're good enough no matter what. And thanks for being you.